Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, we have cause to celebrate. We have a case that just got released from the SCOTUS, which does an amazing job backing us up and really deals a blow to the red flag, gun seizure, community care actions of the police in seizing firearms, which is a direct violation of the Second Amendment. This is a big deal, guys, and we need to take the moments in these fights that we're constantly in to celebrate the wins, to re-energize ourselves and get us ready for the next one. Because it's going to be a long 4 years, actually 3.5 years now. But we're in it to win it, and I'm right here with you guys. If you are with me and you're not giving up and we're driving forward together, comments feel below. Let me know how you feel, because we are moving forward. This is a victory, guys, so let's look at it as such. All right, so here's the case. I'm going to set it up for you. Here's what happened, and then I'm going to walk you through the decision, because this has ramifications across the board. Really big deal. Here we go. Everything, by the way, is linked in the description box below, per usual. Basically, the situation is this. There was a couple, they were fighting, man and wife were fighting in Rhode Island. The man was being a little melodramatic, put a gun on the table and said, "Just shoot me and end it now." She said no, went to a hotel and left. Next morning, she calls the police and says, "Hey, can you do a welfare check on my husband? He might not be all there." The police show up, they talk to the husband, they decide that he needs to be committed to a psychiatric facility. He goes to a psychiatric facility, the police go back and seize his weapons. He's not there, he's not a threat to himself or anyone else because he's at the psychiatric hospital. They seize his weapons. He sues the state, and here we are. It works his way up to the Supreme Court level. So now's where it gets really, really impactful, because it's all about the Fourth Amendment. Warrantless search and seizure. That's a big one. Okay, so here's the first quote. The Supreme Court on Monday wiped out a lower court decision that held that law enforcement could enter a Rhode Island man's home and seize his firearms without a warrant after his wife expressed fear that he might harm himself. Okay, that's a big deal. They wiped it out. But let's go a little bit deeper. What actually occurred here? And this is where it gets important. A lower court had allowed the search, holding that the decision to take the firearms without a warrant fell within the Fourth Amendment's community caretaking exception. So, just like the red flag laws, just like every other infringement from the far left gun grab community, it's all about loopholes and backdoors to get those firearms. Okay, so the community caretaking exception is basically the police would walk by a house, see a gun out in the open and go, that could be a danger, and then seize it without a warrant, without anything. You can't infringe upon the Fourth Amendment, warrantless search and seizure, just like you can't infringe upon the Second Amendment. You can't seize something in someone's house, a car, a dog, a leash, a lighter, a gun, anything, without a warrant and take it from them. That's against the Constitution. Now, the good news here is the Supreme Court upheld the Fourth Amendment and backed the complaint. But it's how they did it that's the really, really important part, and then I'll back out because this is important. But Justice Clarence Thomas, writing for a unanimous Supreme Court, held the lower court's broad interpretation of the exception goes beyond anything the court has recognized. Basically, the lower court, or the district level court, said, no, it's fine, it's part of the community caretaking exception. The Supreme Court unanimously said, no, that's a violation, you cannot do that. That means the left-leaning justices and the right-leaning justices. That means the justices who are originalist and who are more modern interpretations of the Constitution. Every single one of them said that violates the Fourth Amendment. And this kind of goes into the Second Amendment as well, because you can't infringe upon an ownership of a Second Amendment from an American citizen. They backed up both of them. This is huge because it leads to the kind of situation, I don't know, like the Second Amendment suit that's coming up in the Supreme Court, September, October, all about concealed carry in New York. It's looking like the originalist interpretation is starting to catch on across the board, and if that occurs in New York, it trickles down across all of the different liberal cities where they're basically saying you can own a gun in your own home, but you can't own a gun in public. You have the right to bear arms in your private property, not in public, which is obviously a flagrant violation. This is important, guys, because every decision they make filters down and affects the rest of us. I'm very intrigued because the warrantless search and seizure, how it infringes upon red flag laws, these types of different things, and I'm going to look into that further for you guys. I'm pretty sure red flag laws bypass that because they're laws that are passed, but I'm intrigued because it kind of opens the door. The second thing that I want to hit on, and this is really, really important. The Supreme Court unanimously said, you can't do that. You can't violate the Fourth Amendment. Okay? The next thing I know some of you are out there saying is, well, they're just going to pack the Supreme Court. I'm here to tell you, I've been studying this and watching this for 6 months. They're not going to pack the Supreme Court currently in the current political climate the way that it sits. It could all change in 2022. I don't know. I cannot tell the future. I can tell you right now. Right now, Jerry Nadler came out and introduced the bill. Nancy Pelosi, within the hour, said we're not even putting that on the floor for a vote. Now, if they were going to pack the court, just so you know, the process for that to happen, Pelosi, it has to be introduced by Nadler. Pelosi would have to put it on the floor. It would have to be passed in the House of Representatives, then go over to the Senate. The filibuster is still in place, so they would have to get rid of the filibuster, then vote on it, then pack the Supreme Court. Not to mention, the only person in history who's ever tried to pack the Supreme Court was FDR. FDR was a far-left progressive. He paid dearly for that politically. Dearly. And they will not do it again because they already know that 2022 is going to be a bloodbath because you guys are fired up. I'm not going to leave you guys alone on this, and don't leave me alone on this because we are united together. And in 2022, we're going to show up and show out in a way they've never seen in my lifetime for sure. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys. We are together, guys, and this is a small victory. Let it reinvigorate you because the rule of law is standing right now. And we got a long way to go, but this independent battle is a big one. Until tomorrow, guys, I'm Braden. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you later.